Hi, I'm Matthew. Welcome to my channel. Today it's Sunday and it's an afternoon shave. Real quick, I'm gonna wet my face. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Today's shave soap is going to be this sample from Subtle Art Soap Company, and this is Draconis. Draconis. My wife enjoys this scent. I actually like it. The scent notes on it are amber, incense, sandalwood, vanilla, patchouli, some hints of floral, and citrus. Now, my nose picks up just kind of a warm, spicy scent, and it's very pleasurable. I don't pick up the incense. I don't really pick up any specific florals or citrus. It's pretty well blended. Is that my eye or like a little, one of my wife's hairs or something? Anyway, I got that lathered up here in my Captain's Choice copper bowl. And before I get to lathering, I'm probably going to be a little longer video today. I made this shave brush yesterday out of some exotic African wood. And it's very stunning, although the wood grain pattern is not exactly what I thought it was going to be based on some photos that I looked up for wood grain. And one of the things I've been playing around with some designs, and the cool thing about making your own brushes is you can make it fit your hand specifically. And kind of what I do is think about if you grab your hand like a puppet and you look at that little shape, you know how your fingers grab? Well, that's where I was thinking the base of the brush can fit just like that. And it does work pretty well. I haven't really decided on any particular patterns or anything like that. I've just been messing around. So if it looks similar to something else, I'm sorry. Just kind of going by what I think. So moving on with that, we are going to move into the razor for the day, and this is the Gillette Bigfellow thumbnail. Now, this particular razor came out in 1920, and it came in this little nice box. If I remember right, it's gum wood. You press this little button here, and it will release the mechanism that you can open it up here. And for the time when this was released, you could get it for $5. Now, I'm going to kind of set this off to the side here gently, because this particular razor is in excellent condition. I don't want to mess up the mailer package because it's kind of vintage. Here is the razor. Now, this razor was marketed towards the working man, you know, the guy with the big hands, the rugged guy. That is where this plays into the game. And I always wanted one of these, and I'd kind of looked around and I had saw all kinds of different ones. Now, this is the old style, and you can tell from the base plate here. But anyway, it has a bigger handle for the guys with the big hand. And one of the problems with this design of the razor is people would really crank down, and this part of the handle is a thin tube. And so up here or down here, you would get where it would crack and people would just keep cranking on them. And it may just be because they're thinking, I don't want the blade to come out, and you know. Anyway, so this particular design, this piece comes out similar. There's been razors that's kind of mimicked this particular handle, and then the top cap comes out and it's got this threaded piece that holds the top cap on. And I think over time they realized that there's a lot of machining that goes into this, and they kind of went away from this to where it's just a solid handle. And so the three-piece kind of just changed into the base plate and a short top cap, which was pretty smart because there's less machining. And the other thing that you'll find on these particular razors is sometimes the edge tooth here on the comb is broken or bent off. And if you try to straighten that out, bada bing, bada boom, you're going to snap those off, and then your favorite razor is no longer valuable. Here I'm going to be using a Gillette Silver Blue blade. I felt like it was pretty fitting for the time. I think during this time they were kind of talking about the Gillette Blue blades. And I kind of wanted to dive into some of the other Gillette kind of history type stuff a little bit later. So I'm just going to lightly snug that up, and there we go. The tabs do stick out, but for me, that's one of those things that's kind of handy because it makes it easier to take the blade in and out. All right, so let's get lathered up here for pass number 1. This particular soap sample was sent to me along in an order that I had placed with some other stuff. I appreciate the samples because that is a good way to create more revenue and business and try out scents that you may or may not have tried just by reading the sales page. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I've got that loaded up here. I'm going to get going with pass number 1. I'm going to warm up the razor. And I do like the heftiness of it and the weight and the old style head. I really enjoy the shave that this particular razor or any of them give. And it's amazing to think that back in the 1900s, Gillette and his team had figured out the perfect razor, you could say. Got a couple days worth of growth, and wow, what a shave. This soap has a little bit of residual slickness. It is a triple butter soap, and in the description box below, if you scroll all the way down, I will have some information more on that. There's no reason for me to regurgitate all the things if you're interested in the soap. Most people will either research it on their own or go look it up, or they may just say, you know what, I want it and I don't care, I'm going to buy it anyway. So thinking back about the time when this particular razor was made, I find it interesting that they wanted an open comb. And today, it seems like a lot of people would rather have a solid bar razor. And I always kind of wondered, you know, I've never really seen anything set in stone on why. I would just think that probably men may not have been daily shavers as much back then. And so they might have had a lot more stubble or beard growth. And so that comb would help kind of align the hairs. And so, you know, I feel like it would make it an easier shave, but that just could be my guesstimation. And kind of getting a little sidetracked because I had some interesting information that I had wrote down and I thought you guys might love it. So back in the day, like I said, in 1920, this razor was $5. And so I thought, well, how much would that be? Because it seems like during that time, that would be pretty expensive. So I went to the currency page and put in there, like, what would that be for today's, you know, equal value amount? And so for 2025, it would be like $79.95 or something. So $80 for a razor. And I feel like whether it's today or back then, most people would see that and be like, wow, that's pretty expensive. But some of the Gillette marketing was talking about, you know, this is going to be more sanitary. It's not going to cost as much in the long run. And so I thought, well, how much would a shave have cost at the barbershop back then? And I don't have a living source that can tell me, so I had to resort to Google. And I had found that the numbers kind of varied, and it was saying between 10 to 15 cents a shave if you went to the barber. And I thought, well, I wonder what that would be if I went to a barber today. See where I'm going with this? And if you took the 15 cents on average, that would come out to $2.40 in today's prices. But if I checked some of the local barbers around here and said, hey, if I wanted a face shave, what you going to charge me? And it ranged from $15 to $20, which doesn't seem like, you know, if you were to look on a graph and watch the value of the dollar go up, it seems like the shave, the price on having someone do that for you did not match the rise in the value of the dollar, which I thought was pretty interesting. So if you were back in 1920 and you purchased this razor for $5 and you thought about how many shaves you would get before you would pay it off, you would have to shave around 30 shaves. And then, you know, you're kind of home free as far as the amount of money you invested in the razor, which seems like a lot, but when you look at today's values and the $15 to $20 shave at the barber shop, it's only going to take you around 4 or 5 shaves and you would have paid the razor off. And then you just have to buy the blades to maintain it. So let me get cleaned up with some cold water. And wow, what a nice shave. I don't even remember how I was shaving. I was just talking too much. So let me get cleaned up. I'll be right back. What a nice shaver. I feel like it's nice and close. Not really too aggressive. I would say it's just below the medium. And I don't have a matching splash, so I'm going to use one of my new Sterling Glacial unscented. If you guys enjoyed the vintage razor shaves, comment below and let me know, or just comment on any other thing that you wish. I'm going to follow that up with some Star Jelly and seal the deal. I feel like this really is habit forming for the Star Jelly. Is it needed? I don't know, but when I first kind of got into the wet shaving, I feel like the Star Jelly did something that made me feel like the post-shave, whether it helped with the irritation or just kind of locking in the moisture, I felt like it really helped. And I like the fact that, you know, even within just a few seconds, my skin isn't tacky, it's not oily or greasy or anything like that. It almost feels like there's nothing there. So I don't know, it might just be a mental thing for me, but that is going to be the shave for the day. I think I rambled on enough. If I can remember, I'll put a picture right here of everything I used. And I will see you guys on the next shave video, which will be Wednesday. Will It Shave Wednesday? I'll see you then. You have a great rest of your weekend.